Now at 5, we are tracking more snow, which is going to be rolling in. I'm going to have those details.
Rising numbers of winter illnesses in Joplin and
long lines as Americans wait to say goodbye to the nation's 39th president. I'm Natalie Brand on Capitol Hill with their memories of former President Jimmy Carter.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We haven't fully thawed from the last snowfall. Now it looks like more snow is heading our way. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Let's go straight to Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, we have more snow, which is going to be rotating in by the time we get into Thursday afternoon. So now about 24 hours away. Until then, we look okay. Still very cold. We're sitting into the mid-20s. Right now, we're going to drop back into the mid to upper teens once again tonight. So it is going to be a cold night as we slide back through the teens. But as we get into tomorrow, especially tomorrow afternoon, we'll get into the winter weather again. We have winter weather advisories across the entire region, which do go into effect tomorrow evening. Tonight's fine, tomorrow's fine, but look at the sleet and snow advancing in. So here's 3:30 in the afternoon. Then it's going to be periods of light, sometimes moderate snow through the evening into the overnight hours and lasting all the way into Friday morning. So we're going to break this whole system down for you here in just a bit.
See you soon. As we move deeper into the winter months, respiratory viruses are on the rise. Freeman Hospital in Joplin reports that cases of flu and RSV are currently in the double digits. And experts warn that these numbers will likely continue to climb if we don't take precautions. Meanwhile, norovirus, a highly contagious virus causing vomiting and diarrhea, remains a concern, though it's still in the single digits for now in the Joplin area. ER doctors urge the public to stay vigilant. Regular hand washing and social distancing when you're feeling sick are key to keeping these illnesses at bay.
Norovirus is basically a GI illness, meaning that it is a virus that affects the GI system. So we have our esophagus, we have our intestines and stomach, and when we get that virus, we experience severe symptoms. Sometimes we get nausea, we get projectile vomiting that are non-bloody, and we also get, unfortunately, severe bouts of explosive watery diarrhea that can lead you to have dehydration.
Mercy Hospital in Joplin also says although there is no cure, it's important to stay hydrated while that virus runs its course. Freeman Health System announces it's making progress on the Freeman Fort Scott Hospital that was proposed back in June. The 10-bed general medical unit and 24-hour emergency department will operate within the city's former hospital site. The planning for renovations and the design phase are now complete. The renderings have been submitted to state officials, and once approved, renovations will begin. Freeman Health System says they're optimistic that facility will open in the spring. The Parsons, Kansas Police Department is hopeful its new domestic violence unit will help reverse a troubling trend. The city opened the unit in September in response to rising numbers of domestic violence reports both in the city and statewide. In 2021, Parsons had 146 reports of domestic violence. That number increased to 2,003 in 2023. In 2024, the PD responded to 149 reports. Parsons DVU is funded by a 2-year federal grant and operates from an undisclosed location away from the police headquarters. The public is pouring through the U.S. Capitol Rotunda to get one last view of President Jimmy Carter before he's laid to rest this week. Natalie Brand is on Capitol Hill to hear their stories about why President Carter meant so much to them.
The snow and cold blanketing the nation's capital has not deterred long lines of admirers from coming to pay their respects to former President Jimmy Carter.
Without President Carter actually implementing Department of Education, I would have never made it through college.
Kimberly Harris from Washington counts the nation's 39th president as one of her favorites. Jill Jack, visiting from Iowa, worked on Carter's campaign in 1976.
I said, oh, he'll never be president because I can't understand half of what he's saying with his southern drawl. But then as he campaigned more, I thought, you know, as a Midwesterner, I thought, you know, he's got it.
Others here for this national goodbye have special connections to Carter. Kelly Callahan has spent nearly 30 years with the Carter Center focused on fighting disease globally in the most vulnerable communities.
It's changed public health. It's changed the face of the neglected tropical diseases. This is a class of diseases that no one really talked about, no one really knew about before President Carter's post-presidency.
Callahan says Carter's legacy is one of compassion.
President Carter lived his life focused on the love of humanity and ensuring that the gap between the rich and the poor grew smaller and smaller and smaller.
The observances honoring the former president will culminate Thursday with a state funeral at the National Cathedral and a hometown funeral in Plains, Georgia, where he will be laid to rest. Natalie Brand, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
President-elect Donald Trump is expected to arrive at the Capitol this evening to pay his respects to former President Carter. The president-elect's threat to turn Greenland into U.S. territory is making big waves across the pond. The Arctic island has been part of Denmark for 600 years, and European leaders are warning Trump against threatening its sovereign borders. Trump said he would not rule out using military or economic action against Denmark to make Greenland part of the U.S., saying it's critical to America's national security. Denmark is a longtime U.S. ally. Still ahead, a look at what's coming soon to a car near you.
There is a whole new way to enjoy the ride. I'm Andres Gutierrez at the world's biggest tech show in Las Vegas, where there is a transformation underway reshaping cars into living rooms on wheels.
But first, high tech of a different sort, how robotic puppies are helping dementia patients. That's next in Health Watch. Topping today's Health Watch, children with mental health disorders often aren't getting the help they need. A study by the University of Nottingham found only 11% of young people with serious mental health issues like depression and anxiety received a diagnosis, and less than half were accepted to receive help from mental health services. People who drink coffee in the morning get a health benefit over people who drink coffee all day. A study by the European Society of Cardiology found morning coffee drinkers had a lower risk of death from cardiovascular disease and a lower mortality risk overall when compared to all-day coffee drinkers. One possible reason is drinking coffee in the afternoon or evening disrupts the body's circadian rhythms. A lifelike robotic puppy is helping bring comfort to seniors battling dementia. Jenny, the robotic Labrador Retriever puppy, responds to voice commands, touch, and even barks and wags her tail. Tom Stevens created the interactive support animal after his mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's and her beloved dog had to be taken away.
These puppies are designed to treat the behavioral and psychological symptoms of dementia, reduce the need for certain medications, including psychotropics, and we aim for them to be the first FDA medical devices.
Jenny works just like a smartphone and needs to be charged overnight. She's on display at this year's Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our pet vet on call has advice concerning real pets.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about how to exercise your pet this winter.
Plus, we have more snow working into the region. I'll have those details coming up. Well, of course, another cold one outside for us today, but at least we had the sunshine, so the sun has helped us melt most of the snow and ice that we got a couple days, actually 3 days ago. Looks good right now. Nice shot of Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. Indigo's just outside of Seneca, Missouri. All right, through the evening it's fine. 20s, teens, another cold night, but not as cold as what we have seen over the past couple nights. Winter weather advisory in effect. This starts tomorrow afternoon. Tire viewing area where you get the pink, that is a winter storm warning where the snow amounts are going to be a little bit higher than what we are going to see. We are kind of on the north side of this storm system. This past weekend, the winter weather-wise, we are on the south side. Not a whole bunch going on. Pretty much clear skies. Here's our storm system brewing down across southern parts of New Mexico, Arizona, into western Texas. And then we're waiting for this second little piece to rotate down and kick this out as we go through the overnight hours tonight and then into Thursday. So let's go through time. Tonight, fine, cold, mid to upper teens once again. We'll start the day with sunshine. Clouds will increase very quickly through the day. Here's the noon hour. Most of us above freezing. I think we're going to go 36, 37, 38 degrees, but once our moisture works in, we'll drop quickly to the dew point, which is about 30, so we will get snow. We may have an onset of a little bit of sleet, 15, 20, 30 minutes or so, and then it goes over to snow. So in less than 24 hours, here's 4:30 p.m., light snow spreading across the region. With this happening mainly during the dark, this will allow accumulations to be a little bit higher. Periods of light snow through the evening. Here's 8:30 p.m. We're sitting upper 20s to near 30. Periods of light snow continue. Here's midnight, and it lasts all the way in. Here's 4 a.m. on Friday. And then once we get, by the time everybody's waking up, the snow will start to advance out. Then we replace it with a little bit of sunshine late in the day on Friday. How much snow are we going to get? I think in general, most of us will see 1 to 3. Let's go a dusting to an inch, our far northwestern counties. So Yates Center, you're going to be on the lower end. 1 to 3 for most of us. In this 1 to 3, there could be some isolated 4 because we're going to get a little banding. We're going to have little narrow bands that develop. Once you get to our south, Bentonville, Fayetteville, 3 to 6 inches of snow. So what are going to be the impacts? So moderate impact on snow. We're not really going to see ice. We're not getting Arctic air. We're not getting much wind, which is good news. But our road impacts, we're going to put it kind of on the higher side of road impacts. Maybe some people will get out of school, maybe a snow day on Friday, so we'll watch that as we go through the next 24 hours. 20 in the morning, 33 by noon, high of 38. Snow will start to pick up once we get into the late afternoon and evening hours. All right, 27 tomorrow night, 33 on Friday. We're going to have slick roads Friday morning. They should be fine by Friday evening, but we're going to have slick roads Friday morning. 39 Saturday, 38 Sunday. So it stays cold, but it's a moderated cold. It gets a little bit better. And then 40s and even 50s moving in late next week.
That'll be welcome for sure. In the meantime, people have to keep an eye out for the possibility of some closings by, say, Friday.
Got it.
Thanks, Doug. Terrifying images out of Los Angeles County, California, where a windstorm is fanning the flames of at least 3 major and now deadly wildfires. They're burning out of control, destroying homes and businesses. Authorities say 2 people at least are dead and multiple others are burn victims. More than 1,000 structures have been destroyed. Thousands more are threatened. Tens of thousands of people have been forced to evacuate their homes. Just ahead, some of the coolest tech on wheels. We're going to check out the newest auto innovations at the world's largest technology. Topping today's Consumer Watch, Meta is taking a page from one of its competitors by getting rid of its fact-checking program and replacing it with a system similar to X's Community Notes. The change affects Meta platforms Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. CEO Mark Zuckerberg here said his decision was influenced by the latest election results. Executives say the company will still moderate content related to drugs, terrorism, child exploitation, frauds, and scams. The world's biggest tech show is spotlighting a new generation of vehicles. Andres Gutierrez shows us how some car makers are turning your dashboard and windshield into a digital playground.
At CES 2025, automakers and tech companies are showcasing displays that make cars feel like rolling smartphones.
We have chosen to start with something that gets you behind the steering wheel of your new BMW, something that truly immerses you.
In their new line of EV models, BMW is ditching the traditional infotainment center for a sprawling display, letting drivers move apps like music or navigation right into their field of vision. Honda and Sony partnered up to unveil their all-electric car. At almost 90 grand, the Afila One is equipped with voice controls and 40 sensors that aim to simplify everything from changing radio stations to planning your commute.
So you're seeing giants coming together to do what they all do best and work together so that you have this seamless integration of software because it has to work.
And imagine one day relaxing on your way to work.
You can also customize based on the content available so that the whole cockpit is your own space.
Taiwan-based AUO showed us its Smart Cockpit 2025, whose screens appear only when needed. Its windows can tint for privacy. Even the steering wheel can fold away when the car's self-driving features are on. Why is your company focusing so much on the driver experience?
Right, so we are a display company. We feel and we believe that the visual experience is the most important factors in the future cockpit. It's all about user experience.
Hyundai Mobis is taking a different approach with a holographic windshield, projecting critical information like speed and navigation without blocking your view of the road. Is this right now just a concept, or how soon will drivers get to see this and experience this on the road?
So it will take some time, but 2028 is our target.
And more companies could follow, giving drivers a new way to watch the road. Andres Gutierrez, CBS News, Las Vegas.
The future has arrived. Our pet vet on call up next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, we're going to meet a man who watched his neighborhood go up in flames in the California wildfires and hear his message of hope among the ashes. Then on KOAM News at 6, a closer look at concern over winter viruses in the Joplin area, plus plant layoffs in southwest Missouri. And Pitt State football announces their home opener opponent for the 2025 season. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. We all need to stay active, to stay healthy, but sometimes that can be difficult, and that applies to more than just human beings in the family. Today's question for our pet vet on call: how can I make sure my pets get enough exercise when it's too cold to go outside?
Well, there's two types of exercise that you need to concentrate on: physical and mental. The physical exercise, I think you'll still be able to go outside and get some walks in. I understand, well, I heard somewhere that there's going to be a mild winter. We'll have to ask Doug Hetty about that. But bundle up and still go outside. Get your dog a doggy coat, one that's a little bit of a windbreaker, not just a knit sweater. And if their feet are tender, get them some booties and hit the pavement and go for walks anyway. The cats, get your wands out there with the little feathers on the end of it, or a laser pointer. Get those chunky butts running around a little bit. Make them exercise. For mental exercise, now there's some fun. You can take this time to teach them some more tricks. You could play the cone game, the shell game, I guess is what it's called, where you put a treat underneath a shell and shuffle it around and make them find their treats. You can play hide and seek, have someone hold them for a while you hide and make them go find you. You can even go for a drive, because they do go a little stir crazy and get bored just like we do. So there's lots of things you can do.
You know, we invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or sometimes brings us a fun fact. Comes every Wednesday on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we've chosen this tri-colored coonhound, a female named Maple. The society says it's a medium energy level dog, gets a moderate amount of daily exercise and play. They say she's wiggly and affectionate. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have a 5-year-old male pointer. His name is Zappa. They say he's protective of kids. His favorite activity is to curl up on the couch. I'm with you, Zappa. If you're looking for a pet, why not at least consider your local Humane Society? Lots of great ones out there. Cold out there already, Doug, and snow is coming. More of it.
It is. We're going to drop back into the mid-teens tonight, so not quite as cold. We get above freezing tomorrow briefly until the light snow starts. It'll drop us back below freezing, but light snow moving in late tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, and moving out Friday morning. I think most of us 1 to 3 inches, which is definitely enough to cause issues on the roadways.
Absolutely. People have to keep it here or follow us online or on our app to stay informed and watch for possible closings on Friday. Thanks for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. Of course, we're going to be right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.